workshop. My name is Erin Odell Keller, and I work for the Department of Public Service. I will be your MC for today's event. The workshop has 5 New York State agencies presenting information about programs to help New Yorkers manage their winter heating bills, become more energy efficient, and stay safe this winter. The goal of this workshop is to provide you with and I'm using air quotes here, one-stop shopping for information, materials, and resources that can help you and your constituents this winter. There will be a lot of information provided during the workshop, so please note that the webinar is being recorded. Copies of the slide deck and the recording will be posted on the dps.ny.gov/winter website, and we'll go over that again as the website progresses, or as the webinar progresses. Next slide, please. We have a full program today. Before we turn it over to the presenters, I will make some brief introductions. On the panel today, we have staff from the Division of Housing and Community Renewal, or HCR, New York Power Authority, or NYPA, New York State Energy Research and Development Authority, or NYSERDA, New York State Office for the Aging, or NYSOFA, and New York State Department of Public Service, or DPS. There are 2 ways you can ask questions to the presenters during today's event. There will be an open question and answer session after all the agencies have given their presentations. In addition, you can enter a question into the Q&A box during the workshop, and you'll see that at the bottom of your bottom of your screen. In addition, please tag the presenter or the agency to which your question relates. Questions that are entered during the presentations will be answered first during the open Q&A session. Next slide. Now, before we get to our first presentation, we wanted to give a brief update regarding the Home Energy Assistance Program, also known as HEAP. As you're aware, the federal government shutdown ended last week. At this time, it is unclear when the 2025-26 winter season HEAP grants will become available. We recommend that you direct your constituents to the Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance for updates, and we've put their website address on the slide. Okay, next slide. Okay, and now I will hand the microphone over to our first speaker of the day, Jasmine Catalano from Homes and Community Renewal. Jasmine will discuss weatherization programs offered through her agency. Jasmine, please start us off today.
Good morning. Thanks, Erin, and thank you all for including us in the presentation today. My name is Jasmine Catalano, and I'm a Special Assistant Project Manager for the Weatherization Assistance Program at the New York State Division of Homes and Community Renewal. I'm going to be speaking about the Weatherization Assistance Program today. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Let's start by reviewing some weatherization basics. The intent of the Weatherization Assistance Program is to increase energy efficiency in housing occupied by low-income persons. All types of residential housing can be assisted by the Weatherization Assistance Program. This includes multifamily buildings, single-family buildings, owner-occupied buildings, mobile homes, etc. There is a strong quality assurance component. There is an emphasis on health and safety. The Weatherization Assistance Program, or WAP as it's called, receives funding through the U.S. Department of Energy and U.S. Department of Health and Human Services through the Home Energy Assistance Program. Income eligibility for the program follows the HEAP income guidelines, which is 60% of the state median income. Next slide, please. Our weatherization funding. New York State Homes and Community Renewal, or HCR, receives annual allocations. The annual funding is provided by the U.S. Department of Energy, or DOE, which is the weatherization funding, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, or HHS, which is the LIHEAP funding. The regular funding for the 2025 Weatherization Assistance Program was about $67.5 million. With this funding, we'll be serving about 6,500 units. The 2025 HEAP funding that was received by the Weatherization Assistance Program was about $39.4 million. With this funding, we will be serving about 3,400 units. The Weatherization Program also received additional funding through the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, or IIJA. New York State received about $289 million. With this funding, we are projecting that about 21,000 units will be weatherized. The weatherization program has an average cost per unit of about $8,547. Next slide, please. Our program structure. Services are delivered by our nonprofit partners. The nonprofit partners include mostly community action partnerships and municipalities. We refer to our nonprofit partners as subgrantees. Households with incomes at or below 60% of the state median income are eligible for assistance. Assisted households are HEAP eligible clients, with priority given to seniors, persons with disabilities, and families with children. Eligibility and building qualification rules for the multifamily buildings include that at least 66% of the building residents must be low income. For multifamily buildings, there is an owner participation component, and owners are generally asked to provide an owner investment of about 25% of the cost of the weatherization work scope. There are tenant protections built into the program when multifamily buildings are weatherized. More information about the process and timing can be found in our Policy and Procedure Manual, or PPM, which can be found on our website at hcr.ny.gov/weatherization. Next slide, please. Typical weatherization measures. Prior to any work beginning, an energy audit is performed at the property. The investment into a building is determined by this energy audit. Each energy measure that is installed must be cost effective. Some typical measures that may be included in a weatherization work scope are addressing the heating system, air sealing, insulation of attic or sidewalls, electric base load reduction, which could include more energy efficient lighting, health and safety work, which could include the installation of carbon monoxide detectors or smoke alarms, and incidental repairs. Next slide, please. Standards and protocols. There are standards and protocols that guide the weatherization program. We have our Policy and Procedures Manual, or PPM, which is a document that outlines the policies and procedures involved in the delivery of the weatherization program. There are standard work specifications that guide how the work is to be done. We have the Weatherization Field Guide, which also provides information on the standards that the weatherization work should meet. Quality control inspections are done on every completed building to ensure the quality of work and to ensure that the work meets our required standards. We also have other state and federal requirements. We follow procurement requirements such as formal bidding, and where applicable, buildings also go through the historic review process through the State Historic Preservation Office, or SHPO. There is also utilization of minority and women-owned businesses, or MWBEs. Next slide, please. Renewables and other innovative measures. The program has received additional sources of funding recently. We've received $2.5 million through the Weatherization Readiness Fund, or WRF. The WRF funds can be used by subgrantees to address building repairs that prevent eligible WAP buildings from being weatherized. The funds are used to keep projects from being deferred or to work to take them off of the deferral lists and make them active projects. WRF projects have an additional emphasis on health and safety measures, and the average cost per unit for a WRF project is approximately $20,000. Next slide, please. Healthy homes and weatherization. Subgrantees must defer work where extensive hazards exist that cannot be addressed with weatherization funds, such as significant structural issues. Subgrantees will use WRF funds to reduce deferrals where they are able. Trained WAP staff work lead safe to minimize risks during the installation of energy efficiency measures. Trained weatherization staff identify and, where possible, correct mold, moisture, and other asthma triggers. Indoor air quality issues such as carbon monoxide are also addressed, and indoor air quality testing is done before, during, and after the work. Next slide, please. There are also non-energy benefits that are related to the weatherization program. Weatherization provides substantial non-energy benefits. A study was performed by the U.S. Department of Energy, and it showed that for every $1 of weatherization dollars invested into a project, the return is $2.51 in non-energy benefits. Non-energy benefits include things such as household income benefits, health benefits, reduced stress, improved indoor air quality, and potential property value increases. Next slide, please. Increased accountability and work quality. Our Policy and Procedures Manual is updated regularly to incorporate new regulations, policies, and guidance. There are initiatives that ensure the quality of the program. We require the use of quality work plans, and the weatherization work meets published standard work specifications. Those working on weatherization projects must complete ongoing trainings and maintain their certifications. There is oversight and monitoring of the program on an ongoing basis. There is an annual evaluation process, and we have ongoing compliance monitoring of the program. The weatherization program incorporates innovative technologies such as full energy audits, blower door tests, and gas sniffers. Next slide, please. This is our contact information. If you have any questions or would like more information about the weatherization program or how to apply, you can email us at the weatherization email address, which is weatherization@hcr.ny.gov, or call us at 518-474-5700. You can also contact me directly, and my contact information is listed as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you all today, and I'm going to turn it back over to Erin. Thanks, Erin.
Thank you, Jasmine. Next slide, please. Next, we have a presentation from Amy Liang from the New York Power Authority.
Great, thanks, Erin. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Liang. I am a senior program coordinator within our Environmental Justice Department here at the New York Power Authority, and I'm here to talk to you all about today our Energize You adult program. Next slide, please. So starting off with a bit of background, so NYPA is the largest state public power organization in our nation. We generate and transmit electricity all across the New York State, and more than 80% of the electricity that we produce actually comes from clean, renewable hydropower. So within our Environmental Justice Department, we offer a program called Energize You Adult, which is part of our public education pillar. It is a free program designed to teach and engage participants through 90-minute workshops to introduce key energy concepts and technologies. And the modules that we touch on within the program is our electricity basics and energy efficiency module, which will focus a lot of our presentation today on. We have actually recently revamped our curriculum to better suit our needs, currently, and that will roll out in the new year. So at this time, we are also in the process of developing the other two modules, which includes clean energy technologies, as well as zero emission vehicles and charging infrastructure, which is still in current development, but we did just want to highlight those topics as well. And then something else to note is that we partner with community groups, so groups like community centers, senior centers, houses of worship, nonprofits, to host these workshops and bring them to their constituents. Next slide, please. So some of our program learning objectives. So starting off with the fundamentals of energy. So helping participants better understand NYPA's role in the community and our New York State's energy ecosystem as a whole. energy consumption. So participants will learn about how energy consumption will impact not just the environment, but also their finances, the things that really matter for community members. And then lastly, providing the resources, tools, as well as the kit that will help participants be able to identify actions that they can take to improve energy efficiency within their homes and in their community. Next slide, please. So just an overview of what the Electricity Basics and Energy Efficiency Workshop is all about. The goal is to provide easy, low to no cost ways for folks to conserve energy at home and also be able to lower their utility bills while also improving comfort. We feature interactive hands-on learning, demonstrations around our windows, our doors, how to weatherize those areas. Those seem to be the most common areas in our homes. The workshops are about an hour to an hour and a half. We provide food as well. And then also at the end of the workshop, participants will receive a free energy conservation weatherization kit, as well as a step-by-step installation manual. So they'll have everything that they need at the end of the workshop to be able to adopt these practices in their home. Next slide, please. So this is just an overview of what comes in the kits. Not going to touch on every bullet here, but just for your reference. Next slide. And so the goal of these workshops is really to support our communities, meet them where they're at. We understand there is a high energy burden that is often faced by our low or medium income families. And this helps really target a percent of our utility bills and help alleviate that energy burden. We provide simple and renter-friendly demonstrations that don't require tools, power tools. They're very accessible and practical tips and tricks. They're free for the organization and participants. And we also translate the materials into other languages as needed. And we do also have a Spanish interpreter that is available upon request. Next slide, please. And so here are the topics that we'll cover during this workshop. So starting off with our energy efficiency basics, and then we've also developed a really robust understanding your energy bills section. We found that to be a key concern from a lot of folks from our experience talking to community members. So I think this section will really help alleviate some of that uncertainty. We'll also talk about heating and cooling, water conservation, and then at the end we'll wrap with some resources, which does include a lot of the agencies on this call today. Next slide. And so here are examples of the partners that we've worked with. So like I've mentioned, community centers, municipalities, public libraries, senior centers, all the way down to housing authorities. Next slide. And I did want to mention that on the slide it says, housing authorities where residents pay their own utilities, but we've actually developed a NYSERDA-friendly curriculum for residents that don't pay their utilities, but is a lot more focused on comfort. So I did just want to highlight that as well. Next slide. Great. And so to host a workshop with us, all that we ask is that the organization that we partner with will help coordinate some of the workshop logistics, distribute the information to their partners, to their participants, collect registration, and then also provide any support on the day of the event. And so if you are interested, please contact us. Our contact information is on the right here. So that's our environmental.justice@nypa.gov, our phone number, and our website as well. So with that, thank you so much for your time, and will pass it back to Erin. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Next up, next slide, please. Next up, we have Uthman Aziz from New York State Energy Research and Development Authority to discuss the Empower Plus program. Uthman will be followed by his colleague, Lori Clark, who will discuss the agency's regional clean energy hubs. Take it away, Uthman.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Erin. Good morning, everyone. My name is Uthman Aziz. part of the home modernization team used to be the single family residential team. Today we'll be going over an overview of our Empower Plus program. Next slide. So a little history about the program. Empower Plus launched in July 2023. Empower Plus provides low and moderate income households throughout the state of New York no-cost home energy assessments and incentives to offset the cost of energy efficiency upgrades, with the emphasis on making homes heat pump ready. And those heat pump ready homes are the ones that have sufficient insulation levels to minimize the cost impact of a home's transition to electricity. Empower Plus serves around 25,000 households annually, and we do that through a network of over 220 participating contractors. Next slide. There is a little eligibility element for customers, and we'll get into that here. So Empower Plus is open to both owners and renters of single-family homes and 2 to 4 unit rental properties. Renters do require permission from the building owner to take advantage of comprehensive energy efficiency measures. However, there are some direct installs that the renter does not need the permission of the building owner for us to install. And I'll list that in the next couple slides. There are some income requirements, and so low-income households are those households that are earning less than 60% of the state median income, and moderate income households are households earning between 60% and 80% of state median income and area median income, whichever is higher. Customers can participate until annual incentive caps are reached, and the projects are subject to a 1-year look back. Next slide. So where did the funds come from for Empower Plus? Empower Plus provides services statewide. However, program funding sources requirements may limit where program funds can be spent. So SBC, which is the Systems Benefits Charge, those are funded projects. Those particular projects are limited to the households of the main investor-owned utilities who pay into the System Benefits Charge. So that excludes Long Island and municipalities. Then you have IRA, which is the Inflation Reduction Act funds. We have OTDA funds. Those are from the Office of Temporary Disability Agency. And then we have RGGI, which is Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative funds. And those funds are used on projects statewide as well. And then coming next year, we also have EEBE LMI order starting in January 1st, and that's going to be energy efficiency building electrification. That's going to be a huge boost. That is with the assistance and leadership of DPS, we're going to be able to, there's about approximately $1 billion a year for the next 5 years. So that's going to be very, very impactful for the residents of New York State. Empower Plus projects approval is subject to the availability of the funds at the time of the work scope. Next slide. So a little overview of the program here. It provides the following at no cost for both low and moderate income households to the program caps. And so you have a home energy assessment. The direct installs that I mentioned earlier are measures like thermostats, power strips, furnace filters, and weather stripping. All these can be installed without the permission of the building owner. But then when you get into insulation, air sealing, heating and hot water repair, or replacements, that's going to be something that's going to you're going to need the permission. A renter would need the permission of the building owner. And NYSERDA prioritizes heat pump technology over any fossil fuel options. Now, projects are eligible for a quality assurance inspection for up to a year following completion of work. At the same time, any customer can require or request an inspection as well. And approximately 15% of our completed projects are inspected. Next slide. So for low income, we'll talk about the incentives here. For low income households, Empower Plus covers up to 100% of the cost for eligible work up to the program cap, with the program setting the prices for most measures. So for a single family home, the cap is $10,000. For 2 to 4 family rental homes, the initial apartment or the initial of the 4 blocker is going to be 10,000, and then 5,000 for each additional unit. Now, if 50% or more of the units are income eligible, then the entire project is considered income eligible. So in the case of a low income, 50% or more is low income, then the entire 2 to 4 will be considered low income. There is going to be an additional $14,000 that's eligible for various measures through IRA, and that's exciting as well. And I'll get into that shortly. Next slide. So for moderate income households, the discount is up again 100% of the cost eligible work up to the program cap. And so for a single family residential home that's a moderate income household, the cap is $5,000. And then for 2 to 4 family rental homes, the initial, that one of the four blocker will be $5,000 cap. And then each additional will be $2,500 for each additional eligible unit. Same thing applies here. If 50% of the units are income eligible, then the entire project is considered income eligible for, in the case of moderate income. And separately, again, you have that $14,000 for eligible measures through IRA. There's also an additional low interest finance available for low and moderate income households with rates ranging from 4 to 5%. Next slide. How does that $14,000 break down? Let's break that down for us here. So NYSERDA will combine the home electrification and appliance rebate program here, funding with current Empower Plus funding as a single program offering through Empower Plus. After the project is complete, the customer will receive a letter telling them the exact amount of HERE funding they received. So over on the left, you see the caps. You see the 10,000, you see the 5,000 for tier 1, which is going to be low income, and then for tier 3, which would be moderate income. And then in between there, you see the additional IRA funding, which is available to each unit in the case of a 2 to 4 or, each single family home. And so you see the additional heat pump measure, heat pump water heater measure, electrical service upgrade measure, electrical wiring upgrade measure, same thing for air sealing, insulation, and ventilation. And so over to the far right, now you see where the cap is now. So you will go from $10,000 for low income. Now it's $24,000. You went from $5,000 for a moderate or median income or moderate income. Now it's $19,000. So it's very, very impactful for residents of New York. Next slide. So how does the program get referrals? And I sort of routinely receives referrals from utilities and agencies like OTDA as well. We also get referrals from we get referrals from our clean energy hubs, and Lori Clark will kind of get into that as well. Those are considered our boots on the ground, very, very instrumental in the success of this program. And so Lori will speak to that. These referrals are households that have been income verified and are income eligible for Empower Plus. And so referrals are maintained in our database, and every month these households are mailed an Empower Plus application package. The application package provides information about Empower Plus and an application. The household is also provided a referral code, which can be entered online or on the paper application. And applications with a referral code are not required to provide additional income documentation. Next slide. And so the process is pretty simple. Customers can either apply online or with the paper application. The paper application is printed in over 15 different languages. I want to say 20, but I know we're somewhere in between 15 and 20. Following the paper application approval, the program contractor will schedule a site visit, and then there's a no-cost home energy assessment that happens at the home. So during that assessment, the contractor is going to identify opportunities for the household to save energy. They're going to do energy education that's provided on site as well, and they take that opportunity to install any direct install measures such as thermostats, power strips, furnace filters, and weather stripping as well. And then the contractor develops a work scope and then proposes that project to NYSERDA. Next slide. So we received that proposal from the contractor. Usually within about 2 days, that is submitted into the system and approved. Energy efficiency measures are installed by the contractor. Obviously, this doesn't happen within 2 days, but takes about 2 days to get the approval. And then, of course, it's going to go according to the schedule of the contractor. The household signs a certificate of completion once the work is done. The contractor uploads the completion documentation to our Clear Result support staff. They review and approve the project for payment, and then NYSERDA issues payment directly to the project contractor. And again, approximately 15% of the projects are selected for third-party quality assurance inspections. That's done by Honeywell. Next slide. Here's some useful links for the program, Empower Plus program website, income guidelines as well. The application is there. The program manual and program updates is there. That's something that we keep up to date regularly. And then the link for our regional clean energy hubs, which Lori will get into next. And then lastly, you can always call the 1-866 number for any residential inquiries as well. And I think this is my last slide, so I will hand it over to my colleague, Lori Clark, who's going to tell you about the clean energy hubs. Lori?
Thanks, Zoomin. Next slide, please. My name is Lori Clark. I'm a project manager in NYSERDA's Energy and Climate Equity team, managing the Regional Clean Energy Hub Initiative and co-managing NYSERDA's Disadvantaged Communities Consultant Pool. Achievement of energy, environmental, and climate justice objectives of the Climate Act will require all communities to be actively engaged in the clean energy transition, including residents and communities that have traditionally faced barriers to participating in or otherwise benefiting from New York's emerging clean energy economy. To help New Yorkers access and navigate these opportunities, NYSERDA created the Regional Clean Energy Hubs. Next slide, please. Funding for this effort is up to $61 million over a 4-year period, with the potential to include additional funding to address community opportunities and needs. The Hub shared goal is to learn and improve together over time to support the growth of successful hubs across the state, which requires a mindset of creativity, candor, and persistence, as well as shared responsibility for the implementation of collaboratively designed solutions. We are in the 4th year of the program, which was launched in September of 2022. Next slide, please. Hubs are a team of trusted, knowledgeable, community-based organizations in and from the region they serve. The hubs have experience with clean energy, energy efficiency, workforce and economic development, education, health, and housing. Each hub is made up of multiple organizations. For example, the Southern Tier's primary organization is CCE Tompkins. CCE Tompkins subcontracts with CCE Schuyler, Chemung, Broome, Tioga, and Delaware. Hubs help and provide information to individuals, small businesses, and affordable housing owners about the benefits of the clean energy economy, ways to reduce energy use and costs, and how to make more informed energy decisions. Next slide, please. The Hub's initiative's success is measured by these 6 goals. Each goal is associated to reportable program indicators, such as the number of participants engaged, applications submitted, installations completed, and number of participants in workshops and outreach efforts increase consumer awareness of clean energy programs. Hubs are required to host a public forum in program year 4 to present program successes and gather feedback on program improvements and synthesize to NYSERDA. The tracking of the number of residents and contractors and small businesses referred to clean energy workforce development opportunities is another metric to diversify the clean energy workforce. And the hubs are always engaged in increasing the number of new hub partnerships. Next slide, please. Hubs will connect community members to clean energy and related programs through outreach efforts, such as tabling and presenting at forums. Hubs will also advance solutions to address local barriers in accessing clean energy programs and otherwise engaging in the clean energy economy by proposing community campaigns. An example of a community campaign in the Southern Tier was for a solar subscription campaign. The target audience is renters and homeowners. The campaign has a focus in Lansing with the Lansing High School Sustainability Club. Organized youth groups will work with the energy advisors to be educated on climate change and ways to reduce carbon emissions. The youth groups will be compensated on the number of households who enroll in a community solar project. Another example is the Capital Region is focusing on an emergency hot water heater replacement program for low to moderate income households. These households have few options for emergency hot water heater replacements. The campaign will exist in this otherwise unoccupied space improving the health and safety needs, as well as improving energy efficiency. All replacements will be completed by Empower Plus contractors. Each hub is tasked to host 2 energy literacy workshops in each county per program year. Each participant receives a free do-it-yourself energy measure kit that contains LEDs, advanced power strip, window film kit, a door sweep, and other items. Participants have the opportunity to enroll into a clean energy program at the event. The curriculum has been translated into Spanish, French, and Arabic. Partnerships with local organizations within the region from across the partnerships that are established with local organizations within the hub's region are across the clean energy, social services, housing, economic development, health, academic sectors, which will provide a holistic, multidisciplinary approach to meeting the energy and climate justice needs of disadvantaged communities. Next slide. Hubs assist customers in filling out an application for a free home energy assessment or financing, and they braid other sources of funding when an energy efficiency project may be deferred for health and safety reasons. They will conduct engagement and elevate the needs and priorities of disadvantaged communities in the development of NYSERDA and other clean energy initiatives. They will also advance diversity in the clean energy workforce by connecting residents and small businesses with resources and training opportunities that can lead to jobs. For their local project support funding, they will advance solutions to address local barriers in accessing clean energy programs through local project support pilots. An example of that is the Bronx and Brooklyn Hub are including AC covers and radiant barriers with the existing energy literacy workshop energy kit measures. The energy literacy workshops are designed to educate the community on energy efficiency and the health and safety benefits it provides. The strategy is to have these 2 items as optional additional giveaways at the energy literacy workshops. Another pilot example is the Manhattan Hub will be advertising their hub services on taxis, buses, and subways. Next slide. Over the past 3.5 years, the hubs have collectively reported the following. I won't read you each number. The referrals are comprised of NYSERDA and non-NYSERDA programs, such as a referral to SNAP or HEAP or WAP. Hubs hosted outreach efforts are primarily held in DACs. However, hubs are asked to participate in numerous events across the region. The people engaged represent the number of people the hub staff interacted with at their event, not the total event participation. And hubs are always seeking additional partnerships with local organizations to expand their outreach into their communities. Next slide. The Regional Clean Energy Hub contacts are Jess Ortiz, who manages the 3 New York City and Long Island hub, Nicole Crisimano, who manages the Southern Tier in Western New York, and myself, who manages the Capital Region, Central New York, Finger Lakes, Mid-Hudson, Mohawk Valley, and North Country. Thank you, and I'll hand the mic back to Erin.
Thank you, Uthman and Lori. Before we move on to the next speaker, I have 2 quick reminders. First, we will be taking questions after all the agencies have made their presentations. However, you can type your question in the webinar's Q&A feature at any time. We will capture the question and address it after the final speaker. Please remember to tag the agency or presenter that you would like to address your question. Second, today's workshop is being recorded. We'll provide more details about accessing the recording and the slides after the Q&A session. Let's keep moving. Next slide, please. Let's keep moving with Rose Golden from New York State Office for the Aged. Rose will discuss services for older New Yorkers and their caregivers. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here today, and finally go to the next slide. So what are the characteristics of older adults? It's a growing population, and we're seeing increased longevity. When I was first in the field, to someone living to 100 was something that was unusual, and now it is a much more frequent occurrence. The older adults are living longer and healthier lives. The population is highly heterogeneous. There's enormous variations in health, functioning, and financial status. Disparities exist among the dimensions of income, gender, race, ethnicity, and education. And the socioeconomic impact is older adults hold a disproportionate amount of share of our community's wealth. We often think of older adults as we have found as a burden or something, a population that is high and costly to take care of. But the reality is that older adults hold a very large share of the county's wealth. They represent an enormous source of consumer spending, economic productivity, and they contribute in many, many ways, including supporting grandchildren, child care to their family and to their community life. So they are a powerhouse of economic support and volunteerism and overall economics of a division. Of a community. I would like to go to the next slide, please. Okay, so we are working really hard at NYSOFA to fight ageism, and we do that with data. I am happy to say that I am working hard and have been working hard for the last 66 years to become an older adult. And 892,000 individuals, 55 plus, they contribute 470 million hours of community service. That's an economic value of $4.2 billion. You see that 80% of New York State retirement system pays out in New York State $10.6 billion annually. That means that people are spending that money in their communities and contributing to New York's economic activity. 36% of the population in New York State is 50 and over. They contribute 43%, $719 billion of the gross domestic product. So you can see that this is something really important to us, that they support 5 million jobs. They generate $482 billion in wages and salary and contribute $72 million in state and local taxes. It is important to read these statistics because we find that people, again, don't always recognize or understand the powerhouse that the older adult population is to their communities. 64%, and I think this is particularly telling for the presentation we're doing today, of individuals 60 plus own their own homes and have no mortgage. This is a incredible fact at the bottom. We have 41 million caregivers, average age of 64, who provide unpaid care for a loved one. That could be a spouse, a child, a grandchild, or others. That's a total market value of $39 billion, and I am confident, based on the statistics, that many of you on the call today are providing some kind of care for somebody else. Next slide, please. Excuse me. So older adults in cold, older adults are a high-risk population. They're likely to have more chronic medical conditions that make it harder to stay warm. Some of those conditions are diabetes, which can prevent the blood flow that normally provide warmth, thyroid problems, Parkinson's disease and arthritis, which can make it challenging to put on more clothes, use a blanket, or get out of the cold. This can also cause an increased risk of falls, and falls are one of the items that causes a downward spiral for older adults. So this is very critical that we reduce falls. Certain medications can reduce blood flow to the extremities. Even over-the-counter medicines can do the same. So check with your healthcare professional. We encourage people to do that and be aware of what these medicines' impact is, as well as caregivers understand that impact for the people they care for. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Erin, I don't know, is someone able to move to my next slide?
Okay.
It's not moving? You're not seeing it moving?
No.
What page is it showing on your screen?
Older adults and cold at increased risk. 50, slide 50.
How about now?
'51.
Okay, for whatever reason, my source is only showing, my screen is only showing 50.
This is Alicia. May I, while that's being moved up, this is Alicia from NYSOFA. So if I could jump in while we figure out the screen, but I'd like to pick up where Rose left off and talk about health and safety risks right at home. I think it's surprising to hear that about 20% of all injuries related to exposure to cold air occur inside people's homes. So we know from what Rose shared, older adults and also persons with disabilities are in the highest risk groups, and they face poor health outcomes. So when we think of injuries related to cold, there's hypothermia, and hypothermia can set in when the body temperature drops below 95. And that means it can occur at a cooler temperature or even moderate temperatures above 40 degrees if you get wet or you're sweaty or you're in the cold water. The health risks of hypothermia include arrhythmia, so the irregular heartbeat, heart failure, damage to the kidneys or liver. And hypothermia also affects the brain and makes it difficult to think clearly. So an individual might not realize that they need help. It's important to be aware of warning signs and early symptoms. And based on the National Institute on Aging from the National Institute of Health, these symptoms can be cold feet and hands, puffy or swollen face. The skin may be pale, shivering, slowed or slurred speech, or feeling especially sleepy, angry, or confused. Right. Next slide, please. Rose, are you able to see your slide? Okay, let's continue and talk a little bit about an energy burden. What is an energy burden? It's the percentage of the gross household income that is spent on energy costs. So households with the highest energy burdens include older adults, lower income individuals, persons with disabilities, Native Americans, racial and ethnic minorities, renters and residents of multifamily units, and other disadvantaged communities. And this information is, the link is sourced below. Next slide, please. So NYSOFA provides information and assistance to older adults in regards to energy assistance programs, weatherization programs, and consumer education. So we do this because access to affordable energy and safe housing is a social determinant of health. We partner with other state agencies that are on the call today to improve access to energy affordability, energy efficiency, and access, and safe housing. We work with the Aging Network, our AAAs, to provide information and assistance on the Home Energy Assistance Program, HEAP, and the benefits that were shared today. NYSOFA participates in initiatives and work groups, including the Interagency Task Force, Weatherization Policies Councils, Extreme Heat Work Groups, Emergency Management Access and Functional Needs, and these workshops that are being done to help ensure that the community is aware of what services are available. Next slide, please. A little bit about NYSOFA. It's our mission at New York State Office for the Aging to help older New Yorkers to be as independent as possible for as long as possible. And we focus really on trying to reach the harder to serve and diverse populations. And we do this through advocacy, development, and delivery of person-centered, consumer-oriented, and cost-effective policies and programs that support and empower older adults and their families, and in partnership with a network of public and private state community organizations. So a little bit about our average client. And we know that the diversity is great, but it's on average, it is an 83-year-old woman who is of lower income. She lives alone and has 4 to 10 chronic conditions. And circling back to that earlier conversation at what makes an older adult more susceptible to cold, here are those chronic conditions. So it's very common for the people we serve to be living with chronic conditions. Next slide, please. Thank you. A little bit more about who we are at Offices for the Aging. So there are 59 area agencies on aging. Many individuals know them as county offices for the aging, or we also have partnerships with non-for-profits and Indian organizations throughout the state. So we have approximately 1,200 contractors that provide this community-based cares and to older adults and caregivers. We have about 777 senior centers or older adult centers, over 800 congregate meal sites, which are meal sites for older adults throughout the communities. We have 315 central kitchens, and these are the locations where they either make the food for the congregate meal and deliver it, or that they prepare the home delivered meals. We have over 2,000 home delivered meal routes. This is where we're delivering food to older adults that otherwise may not have a meal. We have highest level evidence-based interventions. These are classes that older adults can participate in that are led by certified trainers to help prevent things like falls. And we have over 30 public-private partnerships that serve an additional 2 million people using technology to keep older adults engaged and to help combat social isolation and support caregivers. Thank you. Next slide, please. So what are the strengths of the AAA network in working with NYSOFA? The local offices for the aging are a trusted and established network, and they've been serving populations for over 40 years with a focus on strong community-based relationships with the focus on vulnerable populations. We have experience with hospital transitions, evidence-based programming, and cultural and linguistic competence. We have a holistic approach. We help people at home where they want to be, and we serve as the eyes and ears for medical professionals across all settings. Often the Office for the Aging is a single point of entry. So individuals can come to us. They can be older adults, concerned family members, caregivers, or other professionals reaching out, and we can connect those individuals with services. And we serve clients for life. We serve people not for short term, and it isn't dependent upon insurance. Next slide, please. This slide has quite a few of NYSOFA's programs and services, and believe it or not, there are more. I think many people on the call are likely familiar with home delivered meals, and also the congregate meals, the senior centers, but there are also other services that you might not be aware are provided, including legal services, home modifications and repairs. We assist people with HEAP applications, and it also have caregiver services and supports. We have in-home services like case management and personal care services. We also provide social adult day services, transportation assistance, and employment programs. We offer those, so you can reach out for more information. And one of the ones I'd like to promote is the health insurance information and counseling assistance program. So if you have a family member or you yourself are needing to decide on a Medicare plan, you can reach out to our HICAP for unbiased counsel on, they'll look at your medications with you and let you know what your options are. If you want more information, please follow the link below. Thank you. Next slide. Great. So we thank you for your partnership. Everyone on this call today is working diligently with New York State Office for the Aging, and recognize that providing services to older adults and the energy burden faced by older adults is increased from the general population, and partners with us to promote information and access. We have listed our partners here today. It's everyone who is speaking. So we express our appreciation to our partners. Next slide, please. All right, so where do you go for help? We want to promote our New York Connects program. It's a helpline and an online database for trusted information about long-term services and supports. And that could be an older adult themselves that call, a caregiver, someone from the general public, or a service provider. And there's also information about the health insurance program, the HICAP program. So you can call that number or click the link. And we also have information here about our long-term care ombudsman program. This is for individuals residing in a long-term care facility and provides advocacy and resources, and that information is there. So I want to thank you for having us here today and for the work that everyone on this call is doing to help promote access to vital resources. Next slide, please. Okay, with that, I pass it on to Erin.
Thank you.
Thank you
to Rose, and thank you to Alicia for the pinch hit. I will now turn it over to my DPS colleagues for the last presentations of the day. First up is Timothy Marsh to discuss energy affordability programs. After Tim, Jill Wasser and Joanne Palmatier will describe the agency's outreach programs and consumer protections. Tim?
Thanks, Erin. Can we go to the next slide? Good morning. My name is Timothy Marsh with the Department of Public Service, and I'll be discussing utility energy affordability programs. But first, we'll do a brief description of the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission regulates the state's electric, gas, steam, telecommunications, and water utilities and oversees the cable industry. Part of the Commission's mission is to ensure safe, secure, and reliable service at just and reasonable rates. The department is the staff arm of the Public Service Commission. Next slide. In 2016, the Public Service Commission, or PSC, established a statewide low-income bill discount program for major electric and gas investor-owned utilities. These discounts help customers move towards a 6% energy burden. All customers are automatically enrolled when participating in the Home Energy Assistance Program. In August of 2021, the Commission issued an order that made program improvements. Modified discount calculation better reflects actual customer data, and eligibility for the programs was expanded to create a uniform process and application to allow a customer to self-certify for program enrollment. Next slide. Enrollment in the Energy Affordability Program can also occur when customers are enrolled in various public assistance programs. For example, National Grid includes this list of qualifying programs. Note that qualifying programs may vary by utility, and DPS is working with the utilities and other stakeholders to develop a consistent statewide list. And then, in addition, we'll speak more on this later, but there is an expanded EAP program beginning in 2026. Next slide. If utility customers are not automatically enrolled in the EAP and are receiving benefits from a qualified program, contact the utility by phone, email, or other service provided by the utility, such as a chat function. All utilities have outreach and education programs, which include various methods of dispensing low-income program information to customers. Next slide. The major utilities have more information specific to their territories. The provided list has links to the affordability energy programs for each major utility. As a reminder, these slides will be made available to attendees. Next slide. Okay, as we spoke about before, the Commission approved expanding the Energy Affordability Program for utility customers that are below the state or area median income, but do not currently qualify for EAP. The criteria and procedures for the expanded discount program includes those who are below the area median income for Con Ed and National Grid Metro customers in New York City, below the area median income for National Grid Metro and Long Island service territories in Nassau County, or below the state median income in all other major electric and gas utility territories. Enrollment is on track to begin in mid-January 2026, except for Central Hudson, which is on track to begin enrollment in April 2026. Next slide. In the Governor's 2023 State of the State Address, the Energy Affordability Guarantee was established. This guarantee is intended to mitigate energy burden impacts that occur when low-income households fully electrify, such as through heat pumps for space and water heating through NYSERDA's Empower Plus program. The guarantee is to be provided for the useful life of the equipment and will be administered as a pilot program to inform future policy, strategy, and other programming to support electrification in the low-income market segment. The Public Service Commission approved the pilot program on August 15, 2024, and it is funded through the fiscal year 2025 in the New York State budget appropriation at $50 million. Staff's implementation of the plan was filed November 15, 2024, and can be found in case 14M0565. The pilot launch is expected in December of 2025. I will now pass the mic and the next slide to Jill Wasser.
Thank you so much. I'm going to give you an overview of the Department of Public Service Long Island office. Our office was established as a result of the LIPA Reform Act to provide regulatory oversight and review of electric service operation and customer service practices on Long Island. With that, while our main goal is review of electric service operation and customer service practices, I just want to note we represent all Long Island ratepayers. Next slide. As I said, DPS Long Island, we monitor and review the Long Island Power Authority and the service provider PSEG PSEG Long Island in several key areas. We evaluate plans for upgrading electricity infrastructure. We check PSEGLI's performance against set goals related to customer service and operations. We track actual costs versus budgeted amounts. We conduct regular audits to assess LIPA's management practices, to improve efficiency and service quality, external audits to ensure that financial records are accurate and compliant with regulations. Again, our primary goal is to ensure reliable and safe electric, gas, steam, telecommunications, and water services to homes and businesses at fair rates while protecting the environment. Again, representing all Long Island ratepayers, and our website is here on the slide, so you can look at for more info. Next slide. Last but not least, I'm a member of our DPSLI outreach team. You see myself and my colleagues, Xenia Vega and Manuel Matthew, listed on the slide, and as well as our contact information and our overall email address, consumer.outreach-li@dps.ny.gov. We are always looking to partner with our various agencies and community members throughout for events and getting information out to our public. So feel free to contact us at any time if you're interested in an event and more information. With that, I'll briefly mention that we are hoping to have at least an energy fair sometime in the new year. So be on the lookout for more information. And thank you. And with that, I will turn the microphone over to my colleague, Joanne Palmatier.
Thank you, Jill. Good morning. My name is Joanne Palmatier, and I am with the department's Outreach and Education team. DPS's Winter Outreach and Education campaign will use a variety of tools to reach utility consumers, including events, exhibits, and presentations, partnerships with service organizations and local governments, and platforms such as social media channels and the department's website. As mentioned previously, the purpose of this workshop is to provide one-stop shopping forum for information, materials, and resources that can help you and your constituents during the winter season. Similarly, at our department's website, we have a dedicated page for winter preparedness, which can be reached by using the short URL listed on the side. The page has a lot of information you heard during this workshop, including ways to manage winter bills, financial assistance programs, consumer protections, and energy efficient tips. This page has links to New York State and utility assistance programs, as well as copies of DPS's consumer publications in multiple languages. Materials can be downloaded and printed, or hard copies can be ordered from the webpage. Next slide, please. Department staff distributes consumer information throughout our grassroots outreach program, including exhibits at public events such as senior expos, health fairs, and home shows. We also work collaboratively with our partner New York State agencies to host winter preparedness one-stop shopping events. Today's virtual workshop is the start of our winter effort, which will continue throughout the coming months. Today's workshop and the one in January of 2026 targeted elected officials and community leaders so you can share the program information with your constituents. To reach consumers with hands-on assistance about available resources, this multi-agency partnership will be taking our one-stop shopping events on the road to share winter preparedness information with New Yorkers in person. These energy fairs will allow consumers an opportunity to discuss available programs, how they qualify, and how they may enroll. Dates are on our webpage. Please check back periodically for any new dates and locations. DPS Outreach is available for presentations about our agency and winter management information. If you have a meeting or an event that your organization or community would like us to exhibit at or give a presentation, please contact us at consumer.outreach@dps.ny.gov. Although DPS conducts outreach, next slide, please.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I apologize for that. Although DPS conducts outreach all year long about this next topic, consumer rights and protections, we reinforce this message during the winter months, which can particularly be hard for utility consumers, especially older adults and consumers with limited incomes. Customer protections for are laid out in our Home Energy Fair Practices Act, also known as HEFA, and also known as the Utility Consumers Bill of Rights. HEFA provides residential customers with comprehensive protections in areas relating to their energy service, such as termination and reconnections of service, customer billing, and procedures for filing a complaint about a utility service. Of particular note for our winter campaign, the HEFA cold weather protections, which are in place from November 1st to April 15th each winter season. Under HEFA, electric and gas utilities must determine whether termination will result in serious impairment to health or safety, and cannot terminate services if a resident is likely to suffer a serious impairment to health or safety unless extra steps are taken to notify the Department of Social Services. In addition to HEFA cold weather rules, New York's electric utilities have established practices and procedures for halting terminations due to non-payment during extreme cold temperatures events. These procedures are detailed within each respective utility's website. This concludes my presentation, and I will return the microphone to Erin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joanne. Next slide, please. Oh, I seem to have lost a page. Okay. We are going to open up the floor to the questions about today's program. We'll start by addressing any questions that were in the in the Q&A section, but it does not appear that we have any, so we will just go straight to opening up the floor. Please raise your hand and we will unmute you to ask your question. You should, if you hover over your name, you should have a little hand icon that pops up next to your name. If you've joined us electronically, you'll see the raised hand. If anybody is on the phone, you can press *3 on your phone to raise your hand so we can see you. Please remember to say the name of the agency or program that's related to your question. Maribel, do we have any questions?
I don't see any raised hands, no.
Okay. We'll give it a minute. While we're waiting to see if anyone has any questions, I will note that copies of today's slides and the recording of today's workshop will be posted in a few days to the DPS website at www.dps.ny.gov/winter. We'll also, the other agencies in this presentation will have those slides and recording as well. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes to see if anybody has any questions.
There are no questions.
Okay. Well, this concludes our workshop. On behalf of today's panelists, I would like to thank you for your time and we wish you a safe and warm winter. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And Maribel, you
everyone.
can
Bye.
end the recording.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.